Hello, this is Julius Koski. In today's video, or in this series, we will be going through CSS. We will master CSS step by step. Okay? So, CSS and in relationship between CSS and HTML, I liked to compare the two images you see on the screen. HTML is more like a skeleton. CSS is more like cloth, or the meat and the face, the air, everything which covers the skeleton. That is the CSS. Okay, so in this series we will follow steps by steps for you to master, and this is the layout that we will be following. In session 1, Introduction to CSS, our main objectives is to understand the purpose and the basic of CSS. That's the overview of web development, explaining the roles of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in web development. What is CSS? Definition and the purpose of CSS, CSS and styling languages, CSS syntax, that is the selectors, properties, values. Internal, external, and inline CSS, I will show you all those. And I will show you how to link CSS to an HTML. We have linking external style sheet or using internal style sheet within the HTML file. In session 2, we will dive into basic selectors and properties. We'll learn what is a selector, selecting an element, that's called element selectors. We have class selectors, we have ID selectors. We will see the common properties, which is font properties like family, font size, font weight. Those are called font properties. We have text properties like text, align, or color over text, or text decoration. Those are called text properties. We'll learn more on this session 2, the box model, understanding the box model, the margin, the border, and the padding and the border. How to manipulate box model properties. In session 3, we'll deal with positioning and layout. Our main objective of this session will be to explore ways to structure and position elements on a subpage or on a web page. Display properties, block, inline block elements, the default display value of different HTML elements, the position properties, that's the relative, absolute, fixed, static positions, the C index, that's where how an element can be viewed in a page, the float and clearing, that's the float properties and its uses. On session 4, that's where we'll deal with responsive design and media queries. The objective of this session is to understand the principle of responsive web design. We'll have different screen sizes, the viewport, that's we call it viewport, that using a mobile, tablet, or desktop. We'll understand about the media queries, understand how the media queries are laid, on different devices. Session 5, we will learn and dig deeper into transition and animation. Again, the objective of this session is to learn to add dynamic effects to elements. We'll introduce to you step-by-step introduction to CSS and transition properties, duration, timing, manipulate, easing in, easing out. We'll play around animation, the keyframes, and then creating simple animations. And session 7, we'll dig into best practices and tips. That is objective of this session will provide the tips for clean and efficient code. Okay, so and in this way we will organize and learn about organization and naming conventions. There is camel cases, there is snake case. So the importance of organized CSS for readability, and then we'll follow some naming conventions which has been set aside. Okay, performance considerations, and some CSS are so heavy on the DOM, and you will know what's the DOM. That's a document object model. Some of them are heavy. Using CSS efficiently for faster page loading. Session 6 will be very important. That's when we'll be dealing with Flexbox and grid, using a modern layout we'll not be using tables anymore. Tables are gone, so we'll be using Flexboxes and CSS grid. So we'll introduce you to flex containers and items, flex properties like flex grow, flex shrink, flex basis. We'll have basics of grid layout. That will be grid properties and grid template. And on session 9, which is session 8, which is the last session, we'll be dealing with a project. The main objective of this session is to have question and answers, and then apply the knowledge we've gained so far from the beginning of this session or the beginning of this series to the end. We'll apply, if there's any question, we'll answer. We'll apply hands-on project, assign a small project to each student or to whoever is viewing this, because this lesson is for my beginner or advanced series of web development. So we'll address several questions. If somebody asks questions, we'll address with that, and then we'll encourage students to share the project and discuss the challenges they faced. Okay, this is step by step CSS with the live examples, and you will not, at the end of it, you will be happy to use CSS effectively, efficiently, on a faster way on your project, on an HTML document. Thank you so much. My name is Julius, and I will see you inside.